What up, everyone? Welcome back. Just about 2 days left to go to the NBA tip-off. Today I'm giving you my sleepers. What I like to do is I like to go out and look for starters, hopefully that are falling late into drafts. Starters that have the potential to get a lot of minutes. And ideally are, going in somewhere in 10th round and after. That's what I'm going to be speaking about today. I'm not going to talk about kind of the mid-round sleepers. And you also want high ceiling on these guys. You want them to pay off their value and then some. So with that in mind, a first sleeper is the obvious choice that everyone's been talking about, CJ McCollum. It's kind of obvious why everyone's targeting this guy. With all the guys leaving Portland this year, there's going to be a lot of new guys coming in, picking up the slack. It's going to be a lot of minutes to go around. I doubt the game style will change much. They're still going to be shooting a lot of 3 balls. Someone's going to have to make up all those 3 balls. And CJ is the perfect guy to do that. You saw what he did in the playoffs last year, where he hit 7 threes. And even in this preseason, has already hit 30 points once. His numbers are pretty terrific when he plays 26 minutes and more. From my research, when he does that, he tends to average 18 with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 threes. And the nice part about him is that he tends to shoot pretty high field goal percentage. In those games where he played 26 or above minutes, he shot 53% from the field, which is really nice for a shooting guard, shooting guard. Sleeper number 2, Otto Porter. I also have here written down Bradley Beal as well. The only reason I won't even discuss Bradley Beal is that I've noticed he's been dropping quite a bit in some of my Yahoo drafts. He's not really that much of a sleeper in my opinion. Everyone kind of knows who he is. I believe he can be an all-star possibly this year. Pretty good chance of him being an all-star. And I've seen him go around pick 90, which is at that point, you gotta be he should be going way above that. But if you can get him around 90, absolutely you gotta pull that trigger. But going back to Otto Porter, there's a lot of minutes for him to have this year. Paul Pierce is gone now, and he's in that third year. He's got kind of a nice cast around him. He's not really asked to score too much, which is not really his specialty. But other than that, he's really good all around at that small forward position to give you, steals, rebounds. He's not too bad at assists either. He can hit the 3 when he's open. So he can give you a bunch of everything else other than points. And the fact that he's going to be playing a lot of minutes this year is exactly what I like to find late in drafts. So there's definitely potential there with Otto Porter. All right, sleeper number 3, Meyers Leonard. This kind of goes back to the first sleeper, CJ McCollum. There's just so much minutes to go around, so much opportunity to go around in Portland. And, everyone's already been hot on Meyers Leonard and CJ. Nothing new there. These are kind of the guys everyone is targeting late in drafts. So if you have the opportunity, go ahead, feel free to do so and grab this guy. From what I can project, he won't be the greatest scorer. He'll give you something like 10 and 6. Steal and a block would be nice. Sort of what he's done in the preseason so far. His real value to me is that 3-point potential of his. He's been hitting about 2 threes a game in the preseason. I could totally, believe come season's end that he stays at around 2. With that new offense, they're probably just going to be shooting up 3-pointers all day long. And the really, really nice part about him is he's really one of these super efficient players. He shoots 83 from the free throw line and 52% from the field over his lifetime. And no reason he'll go below that this season, as far as I can tell. Sleeper number 4, Marcus Morris. So I know a hot pick lately has been Stanley Johnson. A lot of people like him at that 3 position in Detroit. But you know what? I've been watching these Piston games in the preseason. I've been, pretty impressed with Marcus Morris. I was pretty happy with his production in Phoenix. All I thought was he just needed some more minutes and he'd be super relevant fantasy-wise. And now I kind of feel that he'll get that exact opportunity. There's no reason to kind of not let him have his opportunity. Stanley Johnson's still young. He's still a rookie. He can wait. With Marcus Morris, he has that nice small forward eligibility, though he's really, in my opinion, a forward, a straight up power forward. But with that in mind, he can hit the three ball, which is kind of nice. He's that type of guy that can, on any given night, put up 25, 30 points. And I kind of like that with my late picks. I like them to have this upside potential in at least one category. So yeah, feel free to draft Marcus Morris anywhere past the 11th round, and I feel very confident he'll produce for you this year, at least in the early parts of the season. Sleeper number 5. This is my boy, Jared Jack. A lot of people are kind of forgetting about Jared Jack. I've seen even some mock drafts where he ends up getting undrafted. And this is pretty much a big no-no to me. He's kind of that guy that I sort of worked my way back in the draft. I kind of said, okay, I'm definitely going to get Jared Jack late in the draft, and I can compensate by not grabbing so much point guards early on in the draft. And the reason for this is all you got to do is simply go back to last season and check his numbers as a starter. He's kind of going to be the main guy there right now as far as I can tell in Brooklyn. He'll be the full-time point guard. I don't know if anybody's even threatening his position there. And as a starter last year, he averaged 16 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, a full steal, and almost a three-pointer, which is really nice for a guy going, next to last round. And the nice part about him is he's relatively a good field goal percentage guy. He shoots at 46, which to me for a point guard is terrific. And he also shoots 87 from the line, which absolutely doesn't hurt you at all, though he's not a heavy volume shooter there. But again, he's not going to really hurt you anywhere. And, his price is so low that there's no way I can pass on him with those 7 assists a night. And matter of fact, I would project him to go even higher this year, maybe something like 16 and a half points and maybe 7.5 assists. All right, and this is my last guy I want to talk about. I was really big on him last year, and injury kind of slowed his breakout season. But I think this year is going to be better, and that guy is Terrence Jones. So he's always kind of been that outside guy on the Houston Rockets. He's kind of the forgotten guy there. But if you look at his stats, there's really not much to scare you off of him. Last year he averaged 14 points, 1.8 blocks, which is actually 11th in the league, believe it or not. That's actually higher than Dwight Howard, so he actually was blocking more shots than Dwight Howard in that lineup. He also gets you half a steal and 7.5 rebounds. And the nice part about him is that not only can he shoot the three, but he's also kind of integrating that part more and more into his game, so he can really stretch the floor. Don't be surprised if he hits something close to a full 3 a game this year. And ideally, the whole thing with this guy is he really needs the minutes, and he needs to stay healthy. The minutes will definitely be there this year. The departure of Josh Smith and the injury to Motiejunas. That really opens up the space for him. So all it comes down to me is if this guy stays healthy, he'll be top 50, player for sure come end of the season. And I expected that from him last year, and he was producing up until the injury. And, I expect the same from him this year, if not even better. All right, a couple other guys I have written down here. I'm not really going to explain in too much detail, but they can help you out in a category or two. So if those happen to be the categories you need help in, come the end of the draft, these are guys that can help. So CJ Miles is one guy. Paul George will be playing a lot of 4 apparently this year. So CJ will have no problem starting. He was also a great source of 3-pointers for me last year on a night-to-night basis. So if you need some help with the 3 balls at the end of the draft, feel free to go at CJ. Aaron Aflalo will get a lot of opportunity in New York as that secondary scorer. He can give you those points. He can give you that scoring punch you need, some threes, some free throws. Aaron Gordon's going to be getting a lot of playing time this year. A lot of people are really big on him. To me, he's gonna get too much minutes not to be fantasy relevant. So one way or another, he'll make his mark. And the last thing is, I haven't really been able to decide on this, but someone on that Laker backcourt is gonna, take some sort of stats home for you. To me, it comes down to either Jordan Clarkson or D'Angelo Russell. I'm not a big fan of Lou Williams or Nick Young. Kobe Bryant will be playing a lot of three this year, and Kobe's also a guy that will tend to go earlier than he should due to his brand name. But look for Jordan Clarkson, especially. He was kind of good to me last year. He was all around, stat stuffer. He was giving me 18 points after the All-Star break. And though I don't expect that all season from him this year, I definitely think he could be that guy in LA, that gem that kind of people forget about, but tends to be, a pure stat stuffer come end of the season. Alright everyone, that's everything for my sleepers video. Hopefully you haven't drafted yet, so you can keep these pointers in mind when you're drafting in those late rounds. And good luck.